All right, we're at besttradingsignals.net and figured we review some of these results so you can get a connection to signals and NADEX for NADEX signals. We're going to go review a bunch of NADEX signals, and we need to really get that connection going for folks with the vanilla options in particular. These signals are just crushing it with vanilla options. You know, stocks too, same thing, right? Well, not the same thing, but well, you know, maybe it's not the same thing to some people. Well, we trade off of stocks to get our options trades, okay, our options signals, and that means we're trading price action. So we're not just buying options or popping on random options combination strategies, as some people like to do. And hey, you know what? If you figure out your numbers, so your series of trades of whatever you're doing lines up to net you out a profit on a consistent basis, whereas your worst case scenario doesn't blow out your account like those old school out of the money credit spreads sellers, or those naked put sellers back in the when was that, the late 1990s, where they would just sell out naked puts, and if the stock went down, they would just roll out their naked puts, no stop loss or anything like that, you know, no contingent. They just keep rolling out their naked put until the stock supposedly would just come back around and go back up, because back then the saying was stocks always go up. And I thought, huh? You guys are crazy. And they made some good money for a while, and then the long-term trend broke, and then everything they did just basically wiped out their account. So anyways, we have to have perspective, but you have to figure out your math, all right? So the best way to do that is to trade off the price chart, because the price chart gives you exact entry and exit points. It gives you patterns that just do the same or similar type of thing over time. So if you can hash out some numbers from doing these entries and exits over time, then you can make a lot of money, because as you gain more experience, I don't know how much experience you have in the markets, you get away from trying to have 100% winning or have the epic trade so you can write a book and sell some books, which, you know, if you make some money selling some books like a lot of people in the past, hey, you know, for example, here's a side tangent. Nicholas Darvis, How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. Okay, that guy's book has been selling for how long? How many decades? And it's a great book. Highly suggested you read it at least 3 to 4 times. Take notes and point out everything. You'll learn a ton from his journey. So anyways, but he's selling books. I don't know how much you're making exactly, but just, you know, globally, people are buying his books and his book, and they're learning from it. It's a highly endorsed type of book across all sorts of trading publications, you know, and I just, you know, recommended it. So you can write a book about your epic journey. I mean, it's cool. You just need a plan. You may need some inspiration from one of these books to make your epic trade or series of trades. In fact, I started off as an intuitive investor. I was sat in front of Paul Kangas in the Nightly Business Report from age 6 onwards with my dad, and he would hand me the Wall Street Journal, and I would pretend to read it when I was a young buck there. I would look at the pictures and wondered how they made a picture out of just dots. You know, those pictures in Wall Street Journal. I don't know if they still do that. It's pretty cool. And so from there, I just developed intuition, intuitive sense, and that was developed arguably because of just learning. Just learning how things move and act and react, why certain stocks go up, what motivated stocks to go on a run. And that was my focus. What motivated stocks to do a double and a triple and onward. So I was good at picking those in stocks. And then I read some options books. Tried out the dude's strategies, and they were just nothing. Okay, they weren't even a strategy. And then so I said, forget your nonsense. I'm going to do what I know. And so I just started writing these bigger moves, these motivated moves, this overall bigger move, which you can call a trend. I would just ride this motivated move in waves. Now, does that sound familiar? Okay, I was intuitively swing trading, but it was not really just a standard swing. It was more of a super swing. Okay, it wasn't just a 5-day, 3-day thing. I was in it for a couple cycles of these at a time, and I just crushed it. Okay, I took his tiny account, turned it into 400 grand in just one series. So I said, hey, look at that. How about that? Then later on, I learned about technical analysis and reading charts. And I probably should write a book about it. I don't know. There could be some trademark issues with that, what that story was about. But anyways, I'll have to look into that. But just for example, and so just on that run, it got me thinking, boy, I had to put a lot of effort and concentration into that somewhat epic run. So I started with 13 grand, and in about 4 months, just in that series of trades, ran that up in this little account, and I ran that up to 425,000 or so at the peak, and so I just recounted how much effort happened, and then after that move, it made a similarly epic move back downwards, but I wasn't riding that move, and then it made another epic series of moves back up, and up and down, and I thought, wait a minute, I'm missing all these moves. There has to be an easier way to do this. So as I started learning about technical analysis and reading price charts and all this in my younger days, and I realized, I said, wait a minute. I started analyzing what I did, and then I realized that there were certain specific mechanical things I could do to get into a position and out without all the huge focus I needed to be to use as an intuitive trader. I could just do these simple rules and do them in a couple minutes a day without sitting there watching it all the time, and I could then capture these types of series of runs over and over and over again. So eventually, I refined that system over time, and now that system is called OTA Core. It's at optionstradingauthority.com. It's a must-have system. Okay, and then there's OTA Core Pro, which captured all the moves that I missed in riding waves. Okay, so it captures the obvious, and if you can get that system, I would get it as fast as you can and start learning it. Okay, but don't stop there. Watch the videos at least 3 times with a notepad. Make sure you know crystal clear what's going on. You can use a support ticket system to get absolute clarity. You do not want to walk away from that system without knowing exactly how it works, right? And then you don't want to walk away from that system either and not start putting it to use and making yourself trade it. You start small, so you start to develop a habit of trading it. Even if you just use one contract on one stock over time, you're going to, first of all, get used to the system, but then as you see the good results come in, you're going to believe in it. When you believe in it, then your subconscious mind will accept the trading of that system into itself, and then it turns into a habit. If you can turn a systematic thing that is profitable into a habit, well, you can become very wealthy over time. And then if you employ compounding, it's even better. Anyways, I'm way off topic here, but I don't know if you can see this. This is the screenshot. I think this is from today. Yeah, it is. Anyways, here's just some positions. But the focus here is just on U.S. Tech. It's just another one of our perpetual pops. Okay, perpetual pops and L3 we're using. And we have omni pops. We're going to try to consolidate some of these signals. There's just too many. And we have to focus and get people focused so they're doing something instead of just looking at all these signals and wondering what to choose. A lot of people, when they go to a restaurant, they see all these choices, they freeze up, and they don't know. They usually the last one to pick, an item to eat, and everyone's waiting. Anyway, so you can see here on U.S. Tech. We use the middle spread. Okay, middle spread means that price was around in the middle, so there's about a 50-50 roughly risk to reward. Okay, because why do we use that in the day spread? Because it has the least premium, right? And so we don't use the big spread. We could, but with the perpetual pops in L3, we're just getting in right when the market opens, and then we're, technically the system was designed just to let it go to expiration, but the markets are so willy-nilly these days. If you get the, near max profits, it's always smart to take them, okay? This is what we mentioned. So if you happen to be watching, because a lot of times you get the max or near max profits, close to it. It's at the edge of the spread line or past it, and then a lot of times the markets can come right back, and then there goes those profits. So, the markets go into noon often, and then it's usually noon, not all the time, but and then it reverses for the rest of the day, and then that could, if you were profitable at the start, that could evaporate. Of course, if you're on the wrong side of things, the market can reverse and turn you profitable by the end of the day. So, anyways, bird in hand better than two in bush. Thought I'd throw that in there because we're trading a crazy method. We're just going on, technically on close, but it's on open with futures, right? And NADEX, and then we let it go, and then as it goes, we'll take the profits. But of course, we have a momentum concept of entry trigger, which is what we provide you with this signal. All right. So, anyways, with NASDAQ, this is a good one to trade because on NADEX they didn't price it so spread out. So with U.S. Tech 100, NASDAQ moving so fast, it can easily blow through the spread, giving you full profit, well before the end of the day. Okay, so it's an easier one to trade. Anyways, I talked too long here. We'll just continue on the next one. Thanks.